So, as you can see today, it seems like this morning we got the brief spoiler that was supposed to come out yesterday, but I don't know, for some reason, maybe translation something was backed up, but we finally got it. So let's go over it like we always do, and let's give out some theories. So, Luffy versus Scalper Kuban. Kuban controls the fight and hits Luffy several times, which is not surprising because he is equal in strength of Rayleigh. So, not surprised. Luffy is frustrated, so he activates Gear 5 form. Zoro joins to fight, but Kuban suddenly surrenders and gives them the key. Gonko creates a magic circle called Abyss in the forest, and then she summons two new gods, knights. So I feel like this power is obviously from Emu is not natural. So it's most likely Emu's power, and it makes sense because a couple chapters ago, when we saw Emu, we saw him like pretty much take away his power from an elder, and we saw that elder die. So it wouldn't be surprising if we saw him give the gods like similar powers, like not immortality power, but like communications, like teleport, stuff like that. So there's no middleman. There's only direct contact. So that's what I think this power is. Now, moving on. The first one is Saint Summer of House Shepherd, the same family as Jupiter from the Five Elders. He's the big man with long hair. Thus, the second man is Saint Gillingham of House Limitive. It seems he has the mythical Kieran power. Because he appears in hybrid Kieran form. So, right off the bat, I have no idea who Kieran is. Probably some legend, if I had to guess. But continuing. So, we don't know about the Kieran form, but it's not surprising to learn that Five Elders, the relatives, are kind of in this royal guard. I'm guessing like they're like branch families. Now, obviously not every not every person in the royal guard is related to an elder, but I'm guessing most of them are, because of their genetics, superior genetics, and things like that. So, yeah, that's not really just surprised about that. Moving on, Shamrock asks why two gods not appear when they only need one. And Gilham explains that Shamrock must return to Mary Joa. At the end of chapter, Shamrock says they will make a game of Elbaf. So, obviously, when he says make a game, he referring to that royal game that we saw Saint Figurland participate in few, probably like 40 years ago, if I'm guessing. So if I had to guess, like I said, it's probably the same thing this time with the new generation. And obviously they tweak how they do things the new way, so there's that. Now, the other thing is that Shamrock is was called back to Mary Joa. Now, if I had to guess, Mary Joa or the officials there, they are dumb. They recognize what's happening in the world. They're like, there's about to be this huge war, and it kind of makes sense for them to recall their strongest warrior back, to defend. So I'm not very surprised about that. But one little detail, it's not big detail, but something to share. So I noticed that he said there's only supposed to be one. And instead there's two. Now if there's only one, it would kind of make sense because they only called for Shamrock to go back. But I believe those two, God's Knight, are replacing those two. So in other words, what I'm saying is that I believe these God's Knights, it's mandatory for them to work in pairs. So I'm guessing there's a rule. I'm guessing there's exceptions, but big rule once you join the God's Knight ranks is that you are assigned a partner 24/7, 655 something, forever pretty much, until you die or you're out, something like that. And I'm guessing that's kind of like the system there, 2-man system. So obviously the first pair is Shamrock and Gunko, and then the second pair, so far that we know, is this this other set of God's Knights that were summoned in the forest. So I know it's not big, but that's what I think is happening. So obviously if we continue, there's no break next week, but one other thing I wanted to share with you guys before I shut this video down or end it. That's this. So if you don't recognize this guy, he was here like early on, episode 100, 150, 200, somewhere around that. And he's a bartender, pretty much a very NPC. He played a very NPC role in the story, just a bartender, no important. But now that the mural is coming up, people are resurfacing this picture of him because he has tattoos that resemble the mural. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised because we are talking about Oda here. He really likes the foreshadow, so I really wouldn't be surprised at this point to learn that. I'll just be surprised that, he thought of this for so long. That's kind of what I would be surprised about. But I mean, yeah, just kind of want to bring this up and say that if it is true that I feel like this character will play a pretty big piece in the final war. Considering he has this tattoos, wouldn't be surprised if we learned like he was aboard Roger's ship or he was he was or he was part of like the world government when Sengoku and Garp were, in their prime, so to speak. And also, one thing that I have to mention real quick that just came up in my head. So, remember, it was teased since Wano. They're talking about this man covered in flames, right? And then we cut to, or we don't cut, but now we see Loki in chains, and we see a big section of his arm covered in bandages. Now I know Saul has this too, but I don't know. I feel like when they were talking about the man in flames, they're talking about Loki. He probably got the flames from fighting the God's Knights or whatever. So he probably got the scar, fighting his own people in the castle. So yeah, I believe the men in flames they were talking about in Wano is Loki. Like I said, there's only a theory, so just take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, that's kind of it for this video. Thank you, and I guess see you next time. Bye.